It's the DNA sampler Dr. Chigwa gave me.
Yes.
I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in.
Well, thank you for summing it up very quickly for us, Lau. Now we're going to talk to Mr. Nista.
Unconventional. Kids these days. Oh god, I sound like Regis.
And that was when that is when she broke down.
Just starts crying, sobbing on the floor. I'm an old woman now. We're gonna look at all these plants because none of them are the ones that we need, but it's the variety of plants that they have in this lab.
Industrial. It's like a factory line.
And then we're gonna talk to this young
Hi there.
punk.
Wondrous all lies ahead. What would the future yet to come?
I don't like this man.
My name's Dr. Max Lau. I'm a cell case specialist.
I hear taxi drivers make the best coffee.
Okay.
I don't like this
You're
man.
not making any sense.
And so the evil regularly laughed at deadly hair.
Could you make a?
I like this man.
Monsters angrily destroy the secret page.
Could you be more
I quite
helpful?
enjoy this. I enjoy this man.
Monsters angrily destroy the secret
Oh, but he
page.
starts repeating his
Okay.
lines.
Hold on, is that a hint?
What happened here?
Utter nonsense loves to
Yeah.
love.
I see.
Again.
I give up.
Era of moral
We're
crisis,
gonna
punishment
talk
of
to
evil. You may
Chigwa
suffer
again
from
to
moral
find out what's wrong with this guy. Because we have to talk to him, but we can't talk
Monsters
to
destroy the secret piece of paper. Is that like a hint? That seems like it should be a hint.
him. No.
Excuse me, Dr.
It's,
Chigwa?
it's pretty much
I'm
just
busy.
nonsense.
Oh, all right.
I tried talking to your intern. It wasn't
Yeah,
helpful.
he wasn't very
Oh,
helpful.
Never mind that. He's got aphasia.
Isn't that treatable?
Oh, yes. He just gave it to himself.
Yeah.
That's what kids are into these days.
She
Crippling
brought it up
neurological
last
disorders?
video.
Yes and no. Maladies,
Yeah, that.
they call it. They give themselves old diseases. It only lasts about a week each time.
And you let him do that.
He's not public facing, and as long as it doesn't get in the way of his work. I figure we all did things the old folks thought were stupid back when we were kids.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I
Yeah.
need to ask Meester about the tampered specimens. How do I cure his aphasia?
So we have to
Well, you wouldn't really cure it. He doesn't
we,
actually have
we have
the
to get rid of his
disease.
symptoms, though.
It's essentially
Also, that's not really real aphasia right there.
And Broca regions of the brain.
Eh,
This then
it's
produces
2087,
the symptoms of
remember.
the disease. That's what they're going for.
I can't wait a week for the wetware to break down.
Find a way to break it down early then. If we've got an emergency contamination, we use hydroxypyruvate
That's a hint.
isomerase. It's an enzyme that instructs the fabricators in wetware to disassemble
you actually kind of-
themselves.
I kind of
Is that
stumbled
all?
into
Then
discovering
if you'll
where
excuse
that's
me, I'll
located
get back to
the
work.
first time I went through this section. It's
Like without asking her.
well, yes, but I didn't know what to grab until I talked to her because it's there are a lot of options,
Ah,
and also this airlock won't let us through, so we have to connect with it.
we have to convince it.
Yeah, we have to slap some wetware on there.
Security clearance denied.
Come on.
New security profile created.
Fantastic.
Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Lau.
Thanks.
Now you'd think we could just get
That's
permission
frightening.
from Chigwa, but whatever works.
This is fasting.
Yeah.
Better to
So,
have it
there's a
than
first
not
aid
need it, I
kit.
guess.
There. Which has
This could be useful. Looks like a lot of
A lot of
cartridges for
cartridges.
the injector.
Hydroxyisomerase, the one you clicked. Yeah. that one.
yes. There are a lot of different ones in there.
I wonder if they have like a different effect for each one.
I don't know if they have a different effect for injecting him with each one, but they do. Like every single one of those cartridges does like a different thing when you
Yeah.
right click on it.
12-year-old
and
question.
everything.
John Goal, anyone? I said John Goal.
Really? How interesting.
Beached questions, you injector.
Say that again?
Overpass, did you stick me with an injector?
Yes.
Now I'll have to get my aphasia rejected.
Too bad.
Not cool, man.
I don't like this man anymore.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's a punk.
I'm CS Dr. Lau. I've been tasked with this investigation.
Martin Easter. I've been tasked with the factory lab.
You work with Dr. Chigwa?
I work for Chigwa. I'm just the
Oh.
intern. Means I get stuck with all the lousy jobs she won't do.
I understand. I was an intern once.
So, what's CS? You a detective?
Yeah.
Case specialist. So, yes, I guess you could say that.
Cool.
So we
I'd
gotta.
like to hear from you what happened.
Please don't ask him about his aphasia.
We came in this afternoon.
Why not?
I checked on the factory.
I don't want to hear about how he wants to be aphasic.
No, well, it's not.
In
No,
what
it's not
sense?
just
They don't watch the
aphasic.
catalog
It's
again. Not
it's
that they're
totally
supposed to be.
total
I figured
maladiism,
that's
man.
So I checked
It's
it.
a
That's
thing.
when you found the body?
Yeah.
So yeah,
She
we're
won't
totally
let
gonna
me
ask him
look.
about
Told me to get back
it.
to work what she called Sam. Hey, can I get a look at the body with you?
I'm afraid not. Official procedure.
Stuff.
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 Why did you go and give yourself...
Bummer. Oh, it looks like this language does go in cycles.
It's maladies, man.
Aren't diseases like that dangerous, though?
He's
It's not permanent, man.
he's
We
so
ain't
hip,
stupid.
so much
But
more
we're
hip
nodes in the body
than we
create
are.
The symptoms of things we want, which you went and broke. Gee, thanks.
Man.
Sorry about that. In any case, they're temporary then.
Well, yeah, that was explained to us multiple times. But
I
yeah,
still
we're
don't get it.
we're
What's
gonna
the hook for
pursue
malady?
this line of questioning
Man,
for a little
you old
while.
folk never get things like MD.
Oh.
Most of these syndromes are diseases.
I'm gonna show this section to my mother, just letting everyone know that.
Society says no.
So it's countercultural, an act of rebellion?
That's how
Exactly.
yeah,
Diseases
that's how
that make the establishment uncomfortable.
they rebel
They
against.
don't want it to be a part of their society. But we
Which
show
seems
them they can
very
ever
strange to me,
live it
but
up.
you know,
You're rubbing their faces in
I'm
it.
just
And
someone
another
living in
way,
2015,
it's,
so
kinda retro. Illnesses like that are what shape society. A Black Death made Europe what it is.
I
yeah.
appreciate the classics.
For a lot of us, it's also
That's not
it's
like
hardest.
gruesome at all.
Ulcers go for little things like botulism or influenza.
Botulism,
But you know
whatever.
someone's got
Yeah.
real nose on them if they can stand a month with HIV.
Now,
So, what other diseases have you tried?
so the
Loads
first
of
thing
them.
that made me
Parkinson's,
like think
syphilis,
was what the actual
tuberculosis,
symptoms of
asthma,
HIV are, because I've
Alzheimer's
never
disease.
actually
Wait,
looked into it
leprosy?
too much.
Yeah, if you're a zift.
Well, you're just in danger of very suddenly getting incredibly
Sounds like
sick and
quite a
dying at any
selection.
given moment.
It's like
Yeah.
Einstein and Newton. Eurofans just starting to get into MD culture. Even talking about banning.
Or maybe like it
Newton,
actually, like
for
HIV does
example,
is
you guys
develops
are
into
black.
AIDS, so maybe
Yeah.
it,
What you let
it's
people
like a
do.
chicken on the
On an
railroad tracks
individual
thing, or
basis,
maybe they just
certainly.
don't know what it does,
That's
so they
pretty
think
much
it's
a founding
dangerous.
philosophy.
Yeah, that was like
Curable
yeah, that-
AIDS, I don't think is actually dangerous.
That was the impression that I got. Was it seemed an odd choice to
I think it might be making a satirical commentary on kids these days.
Maybe.
Regions of the brain.
So, it's not really broke as aphasia.
Of course not. We've already had that explained to us multiple times.
Nah, find happy GG programmers through the trance. They're always looking to sell. It's like a contest. They're
Uh-oh.
always releasing new syndromes, competing with each other. You looking to get into it?
Not really my scene, thanks.
We're too
Dr.
old for
Chigwood
that.
tells me that some of the specimens have been tampered.
Oh yeah, I found one of those. Man, couldn't they have just killed the guy without messing up my work?
Well,
I need to find it. Which specimen was it?
Always forgot to indeed.
A Corsair Brazilian.
no, it would have
When I
been
found it,
better if
I
they
just
just
thought
didn't
Baxter
kill the
was
guy in the
nuking
first
it up
place.
again.
But you know,
What did
okay.
you do with it?
I just sent
Wait,
it back to
Baxter
the
nuking it up
specimen
again?
lab.
Does
Should
Baxter
be
do
there
this
at the
often?
sample store.
He's
What can you tell me about Dr. Baxter?
Not much. He only started here a couple of weeks ago. Chick will drop
yeah,
him in the
not
specimen lab
not
and,
the
kinda
best
left him.
She neglected
worker.
him?
Nah, he just barely left.
Yeah.
Could have been a workaholic, but I think he just couldn't focus on anything else.
Then how
Did he
did...
ever talk about his past?
Intrigue.
Man, he didn't even talk to me, period, about anything.
What's your personal opinion of Dr. Baxter?
we're getting the
We didn't
impression
talk
that
much. When New
Baxter
York
was,
Chickwood told me he didn't
secluded.
released from jail. Looked like he had a governor in his head.
That's correct. It affected his behavior?
Dude, that's an understatement. That Malkin was like a zombie. One time, I dropped the whole sample tray in his lab. Anyone else would have yelled at me. He started to get mad, then looked just about ready to puke.
The governor
Yeah.
inhibited violent thought. He'd been serving a murder sentence.
That's like the
No way. Who'd he whack?
oh
That's
god.
confidential.
I was
Man,
just about to make a clever reference to something and I forgot what the actual
What do you think
piece of
of
media
Dr. Chigwood?
is that I was
she's a
thinking
hard
of.
ass, but she knows what she's
Whoopsies.
doing. Kinda thinks she feels wasted.
Now I look stupid. Oh well.
Alright, I'll let you get back to your job.
There's
whatever.
something else that where like some other piece of media where people get like oh yeah, there's Baxter.
Oh god, what a mess.
I was gonna say,
Where people get like something put into their heads that inhibits them from having violent
Update
thoughts and
Central.
they just feel
What is
sick
the
instead.
situation, Dr. Lau?
Alpha Centauri
Dr.
had
Baxter
it.
is certainly
No,
dead.
I think it was like a movie
He's
or a
been
TV show or
decapitated,
something.
And not
You
cleanly
know, Alpha
either.
Centauri had
His
nerve
head has
stapling, which
been
is that.
removed.
More like destroyed. At a
Uh-oh.
glance, this would be.
So yeah,
the most
Baxter
likely
doesn't
cause
have,
of
doesn't
death.
have a head.
Well, yeah, it was exploded.
Nothing unusual.
You'd think
found
that
on
would
the
make it a
body
little
central?
little more
Estimation
difficult
on time of
to
death?
like
The climate control in the specimen lab is compromising your sensors.
confirm
Ambient temperatures
that it's
just
Baxter,
above
but
freezing.
you know,
What
okay.
is your estimation of the incident, Dr.
I guess
Lau?
they just
There's
have
too much we can't say for sure. We don't know precisely when Baxter was murdered. We can't even be sure that this
good
was
enough
the cause
DNA
of death.
scanners
That is a
and
fair
whatnot.
assessment. A clearer picture will no doubt follow the autopsy.
Don't send in anyone yet. I still need to carry out a preliminary.
I
Yeah.
understand. Continue your investigation of events surrounding the incident.
At least
Understood.
Central's not a
Flat
meddler.
I hope I can find something to
Well,
get
not
Regis off
that
the hook.
much.
Yeah. Well,
It looks like it's controlling the sorting drones on the racks.
so we still have to figure out Regis's
Yeah, this is-
message.
Yeah, Regis could have done this with just that one gun. Unless he shot him in the head like 30 times.
It does seem a little impractical. So these are all the different samples that are in this seed bank. First of all, there's the one that we need to grab that we were told about by Neaster,
Right.
Aquariaceae brasileira, or something. There is another one you may have seen, or people watching this may have seen, that we need to get from the seed bank,
I've taken a DNA
which is
sample
the
from
plant
it.
that starts with an X. But we have to do a few other things before we can actually sample it, because it is an environmental hazard.
I thought you were going to say because it's an adventure game.
Well, that too. But we're gonna go in here because this is where the Orchidacea was stored.
I don't know what's in them, but they look important.
And we're gonna look at all these plants in the growth tubes to find out which one's the Orchidacea.
What
Spoiler
was the
alert.
description of Orchidacea again?
Spoiler alert. It's the one on the bottom left. It doesn't actually like. She just says that it looks different than all the other ones when we find it. But we notice that there is an empty growth chamber as well.
Hey, this one's empty.
Hmm.
There's nothing in here.
Because this is an adventure game, that obviously means we're going to need to use that for something. So
Absolutely.
Orchidacea isotria, version
These don't look like any
2.47.
of the others in here. I'll be
It's
here for
copywritten.
hours if I start taking every single plant I find.
By a company, because they can copyright
I've taken
plants
a DNA
in the
sample
future.
from it.
Which means that we sample it, but when we leave this growth lab, unfortunately, we can't take the copyrighted material out with us.
Make a new profile, it'll be fine.
Warning, copyright.
Unfortunately,
protection
we don't have
progress.
permission to do that.
You are not authorized to remove Orchidacea isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs.
Yeah.
GmbH. Beginning purge.
So,
Hey, my sample!
so we have to find a way to get that out of the lab.
What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized.
It only
And this is why DRM is bad.
It only neutralizes Orchidacea isotria, thankfully. So you don't have to resample other ones that you sampled previously.
Right.
Excuse me.
But we have to find a way to get that out of there.
I need to remove the Orchidacea isotria.
So how do you think we're gonna do that?
Thing is, the airlock told me it was copyrighted, then blasted me with gas.
Yeah, that one belongs to Tifu. They're way touchy about it. Only lab staff were able to remove it for factory.
Could you get the sample for me?
Hey, no way, man. I'm already on 2 strikes for
Have you
keeping
figured it
stuff
out
in
yet?
the lab.
So you could, but you won't.
Sorry, man. Jake already thinks I'm stealing.
Are we gonna
stuff.
auto-inject it
There's
with
a huge
things?
street
No.
market for things like spark fruit or cracked wetware.
Alright, I'll let you get back
He
to
can
your
get
job.
it out.
Yes.
Whatever.
Right.
Uh,
He doesn't have a thing in his head, though, that makes him do anything.
Hey, don't touch the valve. Who do you think Dr. Chigwa makes
That's a
fix them
hint.
when they burst?
Alright, I won't.
because there's another pipe in the growth lab.
Oh.
So have you figured it out yet?
Yeah, we burst the pipe, wait for him to come in, then like sneak it into his clothes.
That's the general idea, yes. Not his clothes, though. There's a toolbox sitting next to him that he brings in.
Oh, okay, that's what I would have done if I saw that, yes.
Yeah. So we burst the pipe, and Lau goes, oops, even though we totally did it on purpose.
Maybe she didn't.
There was no other reason to play with that pipe, though.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Well, fun.
Hey, the pipes in the growth
And she
lab
looks
are-
very,
You'll get
suspicious with that
That'll fix it.
smiling
She
face.
starts yelling.
So yeah, he grabs the toolbox
Right.
and then goes in.
Which he doesn't look at, of course. Like, he doesn't look at, so we'll be able to pull it out without problem. Easy.
Yeah. Now, initially, I thought that it was going to be like a timed event, and we would have to go into the airlock at the same time as him, and then it would like scan him. It would like scan the both of us and determine that he was in there. So I was overthinking it basically.
As you do.
Yeah.
Because my first thought is dump it in the toolbox.
I
or his pocket.
didn't actually figure out
I've taken
drop
a
the DNA
sample from it.
sampler in the toolbox until I tried dropping her wetware in the toolbox, and she drops the wetware in the toolbox for some reason.
Wait, for what reason did you try to drop her wetware in the toolbox?
I thought that the toolbox might be electronic and I could interface with it, but she just puts it in the toolbox and then he leaves. So it was like, oh, you have to put the DNA sampler in there. Okay.
Well, it took a couple more steps than I would have taken, but you did figure it out.
It's because I don't play adventure games. Yeah, you slide it into his toolbox, he fixes the pipe, and then he leaves. And then you can take the DNA sampler out. And,
Excellent.
And then, we have 3 of the 4 samples that we need.
What was the fourth one again?
The X,
Right.
which we have to go through another small puzzle to solve. Because it's xenobiological. But we're gonna upload these sequences to our audio
There's some
stream
more.
and find what the new file sounds like. It only sounds
It worked.
very vaguely different.
Aha, got some.
According to this, he's been dead for any time in the world case. Good luck.
I can almost make it out.
Yeah, but we also noticed
I
I'm going to need
didn't
to find
kill
what's
Yeah.
in the
Baxter.
rest of the
Good luck.
message before I get
we
any sense
also
of it.
noticed that it spells out MA blank LAO, and that's
Oh,
that's
see, I figured that instantly.
yeah, that's when I figured out. Oh, the last one we need is going to be the X. And also,
I'm going to
this is why Charlie last video sent us an email that just is all capital letters Max Lau. It's
Okay.
totally a hint for this puzzle.
To be fair, I instantly figured out the instant I saw MAO.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
whatever it is I saw.
M and L, and then she says that it's
Says
her
forms.
initials. Yeah. It's not subtle, but again, I don't play adventure games.
the biohazard tree.
So yeah,
file analysis is
biohazard.
encouraging.
We're gonna totally just pick that up though.
What is this
Oh,
stuff?
but it's
I'm
a
gonna
growth
transect some
matrix.
data on it.
So it's extra.
Extraterrestrial life.
Yeah, extraterrestrial. And it has extremely rapid growth on Earth. So it's stored as a growth matrix and only allowed to grow in like specifically controlled laboratory circumstances.
Otherwise we'd have the most mundane alien invasion in history.
Yes. Thankfully, we have a specially designed laboratory growth location on hand.
Indeed we do. Well, how long did it take you to figure this out? Because it would have taken me at least 2 attempts.
Oh, no, I figured this one out right away. Because...
Excellent. You beat me on something.
Because the...
Chekhov's growth lab.
Yeah, because the empty growth cylinder there. So we plant that in there.
I've planted the growth matrix. Let's hope I got Mom's green fingers.
But,
I only
So
just
Regis
planted it.
fixed it? Like, Regis, like, did a whole bunch of stuff to it? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
With
Well,
all in that one moment.
Yeah, well, he had an hour.
I guess he did have an hour. That fast thinking, though.
He was apparently a very skilled engineer. So we have to leave
Looks like a
the
lot of cartridges for the injector.
potassium chloride is called a fertilizer. So
Like, did it say that in the description?
yeah, we just picked it up and sent it into the injector, and calls it a fertilizer. But
Okay.
that's a total red herring, because as soon as we come back in here and go back down the ladder,
It's already eaten everything? Yep. It did say that was a risk.
No wonder this stuff's labeled. Give it a few weeks, it could probably eat the whole planet. I'd better not touch it with my bare hands. I've tranced too many horror sims that start that way.
So we take a sample from that, and
Taking a DNA sample from it.
there.
I hope it doesn't grow in my pocket.
There's actually an achievement for that I think I'm going to get at the end of this as well.
So, are we going to mention that we have unleashed a horrifying alien growth thing in their lab?
Yeah. We'll tell Mr.
How ticked off are they going to be?
We'll tell Mr. Neester about it.
How annoyed is he going to be?
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Is it a death state?
Excuse
No.
me.
Yeah?
I think there might be a problem in the growth lab. I kinda, sorta planted that xenofungus for the growth matrix.
Oh, awesome. That stuff is hella toxic. Nukes nerve tissue up like nothing else.
Oh,
You
goody.
sound strangely upbeat about environmental catastrophes.
Nah, man, it's cool. This shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
Management gives us time off whenever they run decon.
Yeah, so he's totally
Alright,
fine
I'll
with
let
it.
you get back to your job.
Apparently they can handle it.
Decontamination. Fair enough.
But we have our last sample, which we're gonna upload to our audio file.
So how did Regis like do this without ruining everything? Like,
Because he's
He-
just that good.
okay, without like causing a decon's situation himself.
I don't
Yes.
know. He was just changing their DNA.
Lau, if you're listening to this,
Yeah, achievement.
Well,
That's
it means
for
they've got
sampling
Oh, no,
only
Regis,
the
no,
correct
no.
but
plants.
Lau, ignore anything left in the recording up to this point.
Huh?
Sorry for being so unhelpful with the message, but I had to be sure you were the one who heard it first. Everyone will be saying that I came to the lab for Baxter, and they might be right. Except that he's been dead since before I got here.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
We need to touch bases on this case. Meet me where we were both first involved in a case. I'll try to explain when you get here. Good luck.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some explaining to do, Regis.
Next time, we're going back to Regis.
I'm okay with it.